I'm Callan Rhodes, and the day I married Marissa Quinn feels like a lifetime ago. But it's only been a couple of years. Standing under that golden canopy, I believed every word she spoke, every vow she whispered, with that lovely smile. Her hand fit perfectly in mine, her eyes gleaming, like she meant it when she pledged forever. I thought I was the luckiest man alive, staring at a woman who wanted the same life I did. A home, a family, a future we'd make together. The music played, the guests clapped, and I felt like I was stepping into a fantasy. Yet looking back, I realize it now. It wasn't a dream. It was a performance. And I didn't even know I was part of the script. Marissa was amazing at that, making you think what she wanted you to believe. I didn't see it then. Not until I was too caught up in the moment. Not when I thought love was enough to make everything work. I was mistaken. But that day, I had no clue. I just stood there, beaming like an idiot, believing this was the start of something real. We danced, under the starlight, her head on my shoulder, and I told myself, this was it. My life was finally coming into shape. I didn't notice the way her smile constricted when I talked about waiting a few years for kids, or how her laugh sounded, just a little forced when I mentioned my business taking up much of my time. I was too busy imagining the years ahead, the house we'd purchase, the memories we'd build. I didn't know those moments were already slipping away, even as I held her near. After the wedding, we moved into a little townhouse on the fringe of the city. It wasn't fancy, but it was ours. 2 bedrooms, a tiny lawn, and a kitchen that always smelled like coffee. Marissa adorned it with subtle touches, a framed photo of us at the beach, a vase she created herself, drapes she picked because they seemed like home. I loved going back to it after long days at the office, even if I was fatigued from pitching to investors or debugging code for my app. The startup, my other dream, was what I dedicated my life to when I wasn't with her. It was meant to be our ticket to a better life, more money, more time. Maybe even that bigger house she kept mentioning. She claimed she understood why I worked late, why I missed supper sometimes. She'd kiss my forehead and say she was glad we were building something together. I believed her. I wanted to believe her. We'd sit on the couch some evenings, chatting about the future. She'd bring up babies, how she wanted a boy with my eyes or a girl with her smile. I'd laugh and say, someday, yeah, but let's get the business off the ground first. She'd nod. But there was this look in her eyes, like she was waiting for something I wasn't giving her. I didn't push it. I believed we had time. I thought we were on the same page. But those chats started to fade. She stopped inquiring about baby names, stopped pointing out cribs in store windows. I didn't notice at first. I was too busy with work, too caught up in meetings and deadlines. My startup was finally getting traction, and I was riding that high, thinking I was doing it, all of it, for us. I'd get home late. She'd be asleep, or she'd be on her phone, barely glancing up when I walked in. I convinced myself it was natural. Every partnership goes through phases, right? I didn't see the distance growing. Didn't hear the silence creeping, where her laughter used to be. I kept working, kept chasing the next milestone, thinking she'd be there when I eventually looked up. One night, I saw her staring out the kitchen window, her arms crossed tight. I asked what was wrong. She just shook her head. Nothing, Callan. Just sleepy. I should have pressured her. Should have sat her down and made her talk, but I didn't. I kissed her cheek, grabbed a beer, checked my emails. That's how it went for months. Me missing signals, her moving away. Both of us pretending everything was fine. I'd catch her glancing at me sometimes, like she was studying me, trying to figure out if I was still the man she married. I didn't know what she saw, but I knew I wasn't paying enough attention to find out. I was so confident we'd work things out. That love was enough to fix whatever was breaking between us. I kept telling myself we'd get back to those early days, when we stayed up late talking about nothing and everything. When her smile was all I needed to feel like I was enough. But I was losing her, and I didn't even know it. I didn't know she was already rewriting our story, presenting me as the fool, as she plotted her next move. I didn't know the promises we made under that golden canopy were already disintegrating, or that the life I thought we were constructing was really a stage for her to do her part. I stood in that townhouse, surrounded by the things we chose together, and I thought it was home. I believed it was ours. I thought she was mine, and maybe that's where I went wrong. Not in loving her, but in believing she loved me the same way.